Once upon a time, in a quiet, sunlit village, lived an old man who had spent his entire life working hard to provide for his family. But every time he looked at his teenage son, his heart sank with deep worry. The boy was incredibly lazy. While others were out building their futures, learning skills, and working hard, the son would spend his days sleeping in, wandering aimlessly around the village, and letting the golden hours of his youth simply slip through his fingers. The father knew that shouting and lecturing wouldn't work anymore. The boy needed to feel a life-changing lesson. The value of things. One crisp morning, the father called his son into his room. He reached into a wooden drawer and pulled out a heavy, vintage pocket watch. "Take this to the market," the father instructed. "Show it to the merchants and find out exactly how much they are willing to pay for it." Confused but curious, the boy took the watch and headed into the bustling village square. He showed it to a baker, who offered him 500 rupees. He showed it to a wealthy cloth merchant, who said it was worth 800. Finally, a jeweler inspected its shiny gears and offered 1,000 rupees. The boy rushed back home, feeling triumphant. "Father," he said, "everyone gave me a different price. Some said 500, others said 1,000. The twist, the value of time. The father smiled a knowing smile. He placed the watch back into the boy's hand. "Good," the father said softly. "Now I want you to go back to the exact same market, but this time do not ask them the price of the watch. I want you to ask them the price of the time inside the watch." The boy stared at him in disbelief, but seeing his father's stern face, he returned to the market. This time, the journey was humiliating. When he asked the baker for the price of time, the baker laughed right in his face. The merchant waved him away, calling it a foolish, crazy question. People pointed and whispered. The boy felt deeply embarrassed, his face burning red, ready to give up and run home. The epiphany. But just as he was leaving, he noticed a tiny, dusty shop tucked away in a corner. Inside, an old, frail watchmaker was hunched over a desk, carefully repairing gears. The boy approached him and timidly asked, "Sir, what is the price of the time inside this watch?" The old man stopped his work. He looked up, his eyes holding the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes. He gently took the watch from the boy's hand and spoke in a quiet, powerful voice. "Son, you could bring me all the gold in the world. You could offer me millions of rupees, but you can never, ever buy back the single second that just ticked by." The transformation. The old man leaned in closer. Time has one terrible flaw. It constantly passes. But it has one beautiful blessing. You get to choose how to spend it. The richest king and the poorest beggar both wake up with the exact same 24 hours in their pockets. The only difference in their lives is how they spend that wealth. The words hit the boy like a bolt of lightning. In that tiny shop, his entire perspective shifted. He realized that every day he had wasted was a fortune he had thrown into the wind. He ran back home, not as the lazy boy who left, but as a young man ready to build his future. From that day on, he never wasted another sunrise. Moral. Here is the ultimate truth of life. Time is completely free, yet it is absolutely priceless. You cannot own it, but you can use it. You cannot keep it, but you can spend it. Once a moment is gone, it is gone forever. Do not wait until your time runs out to realize how wealthy you truly were. Treat every single second as the greatest investment of your life.